Namaskar, Mumbai. Dhoni finishes off the things in style and a magnificent six into the crowd. Rohit, you won the toss, and what are you going to decide to? And after again, the five-time champions, the Mumbai Indians, have lost the match. Wait. The IPL fever is going on, and who will be interested to join a Toastmasters meeting at, at that too on a very hot Sunday? But things are happening contrary to our thoughts right now here. A very good evening, fellow Toastmasters and the beautiful guests out there. I welcome you all to the 104th session of Vellore Toastmasters Club. Well, if someone says that a talk show is going to happen in a Toastmasters meeting, I would say that it's impossible. But today, we have a person in our club to make the impossible to possible. Yes, wait. I'm instructed not to speak much about the theme. Yeah. So let's be with the excitement. And before diving into the session, there are a few ground rules that are to be followed during this meeting. Firstly, please do keep your mobiles off or put them on silent mode. Sex, religion, and politics. And please do keep your mics muted unless you come on stage. And please do keep your cameras on so that we could witness your beautiful smile. And here I would also like to tell the mission of Toastmasters Club. The mission of Toastmasters Club is to provide a mutually supportive and positive learning experience through which members develop their communication and leadership skills. And without further ado, I would like to call one of the most dedicated person. Yes, I really got inspired by her. Yes, let me call upon the acting presiding officer for today's session, Toastmaster Kriti. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Bharat. I officially declare open 104th session of Vellore Toastmasters Club. What a glorious week we had. We had our area contest, which took place last week on March 26th. We had a fellow Toastmasters who brought laurels to our club, having Toastmaster Vijay Surana the first place in table topics contest. Second place, which was grabbed by Toastmaster Bharat in international speech contest. And third place was grabbed by Toastmaster Saumini in international speech contest. And it was also wonderful seeing our newbies like Toastmaster Pratyusha and Toastmaster Shruthika being a role player in the area contest. All the best to Toastmaster Vijay and Toastmaster Bharat for the division contest, which is coming on April 9th. I request everyone to register so we can go and support our fellow Toastmasters. I will send the meeting link to register afterwards, after the meeting. Now I welcome our guest, a guest speaker, Toastmaster Kavita, to our club. And I also welcome our guest, Shivansh Kumar and Rohit. Welcome to VTC, Vellore Toastmasters Club. May I know which club do you belong, Shivansh Kumar?
So I currently don't belong to any club, so I just joined here as a guest to see how a Toastmaster works.
Yeah, we are glad to have you. So we all now let's without further ado, we all know that when we have an excuse for communication, we the only thing which comes in our mind is let's go for coffee. We know that we have also come across coffee with Karan, coffee with Didi. Now it's time for our most creative person in our club, Toastmaster Shruthika, with her own show up, with her own theme called Coffee with Shru. Let's keep the coffee brewing. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Shruthika.
Thank you so much for that wonderful introduction, Kriti. Hi and hello, everybody, and very good afternoon. Sunday is a day to clear the mind of all that has transferred the week before. Do not let the Monday thoughts to steal your Sunday. Welcome to Coffee with Shru, provided by Toastmasters International and co-sponsored by VTC. A cup of hot hello, a plate of warm and crispy memories, and a spoonful of sweet smile. Today, we are going to have a roller coaster ride of distinct memories. So, let me introduce a person who's going to assist me in running today's show successfully. She is genuinely help people who are indeed from heart, but sometimes it depends on her mood also. Thank God, at the time I asked her help, the mood was in good state. So join hands to welcome the gentle evaluator Toastmaster Kriti to the stage along with her tag team.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day. Today, I'm going to be the production head, as well as known as general evaluator, evaluating everything that takes place during this show, Coffee with Shru. During this show, I will take notes on everything that happens and doesn't happen. I will evaluate each role player on the meeting program. To help me with this, I have a small but very efficient team called tag team. First, I would like to call upon the person who had fighted the fear of embarrassment to join VTC and who loves the combination of ice cream and good sleep. She always pretends to have it together when it's all over. Kind Pratyusha, the timer of the timer. Over to you, Toastmaster Pratyusha.
Thank you. Greetings, everyone, fellow Toastmasters and the guest present here. As timer, today I will time the table topic speakers, formal speeches, and the evaluations. I will also alert each speaker of the time they have left using a green, yellow, and a red card. For prepared speech, the time limit is 5 to 7 minutes, where I shall be raising my green card at 5th minute, yellow card at 6th minute, and a red card at 7th minute. For table topic speeches, the time limit is 1 to 2 minutes. I shall be raising my green card at 1 minute, yellow card at 1 minute 30 seconds, and a red card at 3 minutes. Sorry, 2 minutes. For evaluation speeches, the time limit is 2 to 3 minutes. I shall be raising my green card at 2 minutes, yellow card at 2 minutes 30 seconds, and a red card at 3 minutes. To qualify in your speeches, you need to pass at least the green card, and 30 seconds of buffer shall be provided after the red card is displayed. Not finishing within the 30 seconds after the red card is displayed will get you to disqualify. I shall be giving my report at the end of the meeting when called upon. Over to the general evaluator.
Thank you, timer. Now I call upon the person who had a career change in late 30s. Fat to fit by losing 33 kgs. An introvert to being the founder of a community club called Trek Talks with over 500 active members. The nurturing Vijay Surana. Our counter. Over to you, Toastmaster Vijay Surana.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Let me have my coffee first. Friends, the happiest moment of my life was when, at CMC, Sarah was being handed on the 26th of May. And, or the happiest day of my life was the 26th of May 2011 at around 2 p.m. when Sarah was being handed over to me by the nurse at the CMC. Friends, can you see the difference what a filler and a pause can make? This is how your speech sounds when you either fill it with ums, ers, or a timely pause. Welcome, Toastmasters and guests. I am your R counter today. The purpose of an R counter is to note the words and sounds that I use as crunch or pause fillers by anyone who speaks today. During the meeting, I will listen to the overused words, including and, well, but, so, I will, and listen for filler sounds, including and note when a speaker repeats a phrase such as I, and, this means, you mean. And at the end of the meeting, I shall report the number of the time the speaker used this expressions. Thank you, General Valvator.
Thank you, accountant. Next, I call the person who helped many celebrities develop an amazing public image. A person who has presence of mind and a way with words. A graphic designer, the calculative William. Toastmaster Ashwin, the grammarian. Over to you.
Good evening, Toastmaster of the Day, fellow Toastmasters and dear friends. I'm William Hemsworth, a publicist who works for many famous actors. As a publicist, it is my job to generate and manage publicity for companies or public figures such as celebrities present here with us today. The best way to help an individual maintain or represent a particular image is through communication. And that's what Toastmasters is all about, communication. As speakers, we are so focused on delivering and communicating a story that we sometimes forget the importance of language. Now, this doesn't mean that we need to use fancy words, but what it means is that whenever we speak, must be spoken correctly. Pronunciations, phrasing, sentence formation, all of it come into play when delivering an effective speech. As the publicist for today's talk show, it is my responsibility to pay close attention to all speakers, listening carefully to their language, as well as any outstanding words, quotes, sayings, or thoughts. And as the grammarian, it is also my duty to introduce the word of the day. For today's meeting, the word is hysterical, which means to be affected or deriving from wildly uncontrolled or extreme emotions. Let me repeat the word of the day again. For today's meeting, the word of the day is hysterical, which means to be affected or deriving from wildly uncontrolled or extreme emotions. An example would be, he became almost hysterical when I told him about what happened today. I'll be sharing the word of the day along with the example in the chat box. I encourage everyone to use the word of the day and other members to use the Zoom features to show thumbs up to appreciate the effort taken by others who use the word of the day. I'll be ready with my report at the end of the session when called upon by the general evaluator. Over to you, TM Kriti.
Thank you, grammarian. I hope we'll have fun, exciting show ahead. Now I'll come up with my report when called upon. Thank you. Over to the Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, General Evaluator. So generally in our show, we are going to have 3 rounds. The round 1 is of prepared speeches, and the round 2 of table topic speeches, and the round 3 of evaluation speeches. Before going into the show, of course, talking is the most important, right? And I'm going to question one of our celebrity and important experience that they have gained in our life. So Naturing Vijay Surana, can we have you on the stage?
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day.
So here is the question. What is the life turning point decision that you have taken? The decision which you have taken just turned out your life.
I'm filled with ooms and ahs today because there are a lot of such occasions that have really changed my life when I see in the hindsight window today. But one of the most important decisions that I took in my life that changed and drastically changed everything that revolves around my life today, or where I stand today in life, is my decision to overcome my fear of public speaking. It was during COVID times that I finally gave in, that no, I need to face my fear. And what better times than not to face people? Sorry. So that would be the best time, for a glassophobic not to face people and try and overcome the fear of facing people. So I enrolled into a few of the classes on the YouTube, my favorite university, and I met some of my favorite speakers there, including Eric Edemes and another person. I took some online classes. In one of the speeches, I heard the word called Toastmasters. If you're afraid of public speaking, join a Toastmasters club. I was inquisitive. What is this Toastmasters club? So let me go and search. To my surprise, when I entered the word Toastmasters club, there showed a Facebook page called Vellore Toastmasters Club. I said, are you kidding me? Does Vellore have a Toastmasters club? And the rest is history. The very day I joined the club, and I'm glad that today I call it one of my passions to speak public. Thank you for giving me this opportunity, Shruthika.
That's really such a wonderful experience. So now we are further going into the show. The first round we are going to enter is prepared speech round. The first speaker for this round is a person who's always loved to do tough things for her. And it's none other than TM Mahalakshmi, called Max Maha. To evaluate this speech, we have a person who always unrealistically optimistic about life and today's evaluation. Let's welcome TM Darshni, also called as Anti-Stupid Darshni. Darshni, over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster of today, for that introduction. So today, Toastmaster Mahalakshmi will be delivering her level 1, project 3 under the pathway presentation mastery. The purpose of this speech is for the member to learn or to research on a particular topic, understand and present a well-organized speech on any topic of her choice. This speech, the timer, please note that the speech length is 5 to 7 minutes. All the best, Toastmaster Mahalakshmi. I'll present the report towards today. Thank you.
Thank you, Darshni. Toastmaster Mahalakshmi, find yourself, Toastmaster Mahalakshmi.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shruthika, and thank you, Darshni. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and my dear guest. Timer, you can start the timing now. Who you are? Are you living yourself happily? Are you satisfied with yourself? Are you satisfied with yourself? Have you ever heard your inner voice saying that you're not being yourself and not at all happy with what you're currently doing? Though you're not satisfied with yourself, still you're doing the same again and again to carry your responsibilities. I'm not telling you that you're enjoying with your comfort zone, but we are not ready to take a new step where there might be a lot of reasons like family responsibilities, fear of being remind, age, status, etc. Let me keep this aside. I just want to share a story. A boy who lost his father in his early life as soon as he got separated from his mom, which led him to cook and carry his siblings. In the 7th grade, he dropped out from the school and left the home to work as a farmhand. At the age of 16, he faked his own age and enrolled in the US Army. After being honorably discharged a year later, then he got hired by railways as a laborer. Soon, he got fired. Similarly, he held a numerous of jobs such as steam engine stroker, insurance seller, painter, filling station operator, etc. In fact, He worked numerous jobs with mixed success until he was 65 years old. At the time, he set out writing his will, convinced he hadn't made anything for himself. But he realized he had one thing that might be still to be worth. That is, he knew how to cook. By the time he was 40, he owned a small filling station. There, he set out a small room as an eating area and served homemade meal for a hunger travelers. This is where he developed what he called the secret recipe made up of 11 herbs and spices and the method of pressure frying chicken. He believed that the recipe tasted would be better than deep fried chicken, but he failed, which was to be short-lived. At the time of 65, he traveled throughout the world to franchising his recipe to other restaurant owners. But his recipe was rejected 1,009 times before anyone accepted it. You already might have guessed it, which is none other than the Colonel Sanders, the great Kentucky Fried Chicken KFC owner. What if he hadn't taken that one step? He might have regretted his whole life. That one step led him to have nearly 19,000 KFC locations in 180 countries all over the world. Guys, take a time to deliberate. When the time comes for an action, just stop thinking it, go in. As said by Napoleon Bannerley, take a break from everything. Just come out from your comfort zone. Break your boundaries. Go, just go and find yourself where you get satisfied. And mark my word, that one step pays you enormous result. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Mahalakshmi. That's really an inspiring speech. Before we go ahead, we are going to experience another memory from another celebrity, and it's none other than Darshni. Darshni, can we have you on stage?
Yes, hello.
Hi, you look so pretty today. And the question for you is, what is the unrealistically optimistic situation that you have faced in your life?
So I am this person who feels very guilty for anything which I am not responsible for. People might call me I am mad for it, but that's how I am. So one thing I have actually figured out to not feel guilty. And how is it? It's to give everything a shot. When you have options, 5 options, give all the 5 options your fullest, at least in an ascending order to with your likings. But that's what I do. That is why I'm very unrealistically optimistic, because I feel very guilty if I don't give it a shot, even for one thing, which I deep down know that it wouldn't have worked out. But it actually gets converted into guilt. So I think the incident that I was very unrealistically optimistic was when I had so many colleges lined up, and I thought I'd like get into something, and eventually one thing led to another, and all of the colleges that I had gotten didn't work out. So that's the one incident from my life where I was like unrealistically optimistic, but it didn't go well. But I'm not guilty about it. So good for me. Thank you.
That's really great. So always some people may be feared to take an initiate, but if we didn't take an initiate, it may cause a guilty feeling is really a different thing. So the next part is the second speaker we call for this round is TM Kavita from L&T Club. Before calling the speaker, we can have the evaluator for the speech. The person who always cared about this word. Sorry. To evaluate the speech, we have a person who always care about his words. He makes sure that it doesn't hurt the people and going to do this evaluation by standing on his words. We welcome TM Barrett to the stage.
Thank you, TM Modi, for the wonderful words. Well, so I've always liked to do crazy things because that's what makes us all unique. So today we have a speaker from L&T Toastmasters Club. Well, it's none other than Toastmaster Kavita, and she's doing her level 2 project 3 on her pathway, persuasive influence. And well, the purpose of the project is for the member to clearly define how Toastmasters envisions mentoring and also to share some of her previous experience as a protege. Well, Toastmaster Kavita, all the best for your speech, and I'll be evaluating speech based on the basic structure that are required for a speech, and I'll also look for the objectives that has been given to you. And all the best, and over to the TMO.
Thank you, Toastmaster Barrett. Toastmaster Kavita, leaps and bounds, Toastmaster Kavita. The stage is yours.
The town hall was filled with middle school students from various schools of the town. A sixth standard girl was delivering her speech with sparkling eyes and shrilling voice standing behind the podium. She went on for 2 minutes. Suddenly, she stopped, stared at the crowd, and rushed towards the exit door. Have you ever seen such a scene? I'm sure most of us would have come across. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and esteemed guests. I just shared what happened to me when I was 11 years old. I love to speak, as most of the girls do love to speak with no break, but those are with one-on-one conversations. When it comes to public speaking, I used to get stuck. Years passed by. I got into L&T, but the status quo on speaking remained the same. In L&T, every week we receive fabulous flyers from ECC Toastmasters Club regarding the meeting. 3 years ago, one such flyer with a picture of beautifully carved wooden knives stabbing on the surface, titled Kill the Fear. Somehow, this title got into my mind, and I decided to attend the meeting that Wednesday. There, I got to listen to Toastmaster Sharmishta Acharya, the TMOD that day, and she briefed a lot of phobia people have. It was indeed an interesting meeting, getting to know the uniqueness and commonalities of many other Toastmasters. Following that, I attended another special meeting where there was a fun-filled game segment on idioms and phrases conducted by distinguished Toastmaster Kannan Gopalakrishnan. It was a great learning experience for me from the veteran Toastmaster, sharing his knowledge and wisdom that he gathered over years of experience. Who would want to miss the chance of learning joyfully, yet steering for the overall development with people cheering along? Yes, I decided to become the member of the club and enjoy being a part of the club, which aims at raising the bar every time. I was glad to have Toastmaster Prathamesh as my mentor. He is a multi-talented personality who has so much of knowledge on everything that he can speak on any topic for hours together. He's a great listener who has listened to me every time that I go to him, an amazing analyzer without any preconception or judgment, and clearly states his comments every time. With Toastmaster Prathamesh advice, I used to take up roles initially for the meetings and used to have casual conversation with other Toastmasters. One such casual conversation led me to jot down my icebreakers page, and I consulted with my mentor, and he helped me in fine-tuning it, and I successfully delivered my icebreaker speech to my club members. It was after his transfer to L&T Mumbai, I was assigned as a protege to Toastmaster Sharmishta, one of my favorite Toastmasters, and the one who designed the flyer Kill the Fear. I was so happy to have her as my mentor. She is highly creative and has an architectural touch on all the flyers that she creates. She is a spontaneous speaker who can speak on any topic, which is seen in all her table topic speeches. And she brings up novelty in each role that she takes up every time. She inspires me in many ways with her spectrum of skills. Finally, after 3 years, I got to design a flyer with Canva. I've started designing it indeed. And I may not call it as an extraordinary one, but I'm happy about my progress, and there is always room for improvement. It is not only your designated mentor, but also visiting Toastmasters, a virtual mentor, contest chief judges, contestants, fellow Toastmasters, and few guests who drove me to go in leaps and bounds. As per my understanding, progress mentoring is all about helping the protege to progress in leaps and bounds. Yes, going in leaps and bounds is possible with more focus and cooperation from both mentor and protege. Leaps and bounds. Leaps. L-E-A-P. Yes. B-O-U-N-D. Yes. Leaps and bounds. L for listening. Listening is highly essential for any learning and relationship. E, encouraging the protege in each level with assertive guidance and constructive feedback. A, allowing the protege to express his opinion and thoughts. P, prepare the protege for progress to next level with mentor's own experience, knowledge, and wisdom. Yes, skill development and hand-holding the protege only when needed. B, building a mutually beneficial relationship and raising the bar for self and protege. O, overcoming obstacles and working on overall development. U, understanding the mission of Toastmasters Club. N, nurturing the uniqueness and capabilities of self and protege. D, determination to take up challenges. Yes, successful Toastmastering, leaps and bounds, is possible with more focus, involvement, and cooperation from both mentor and protege. Are you ready to progress in leaps and bounds? Thank you. Over to you, Tiamu.
Thank you so much for that wonderful speech, Toastmaster Kavita. I'm really ready to progress in leaps and bounds. So before going to the second round, again, we are going to have another celebrity to the stage to answer an interesting question. And it's none other than Toastmaster Bharat.
Yeah.
Hi, Bharat. So welcome to the
Yeah.
hot seat.
Hi. Yeah. Thank you.
Here is the question for you. Generally, we listen to some people's stories, right? It will have a great impact on us. We will be so concerned about it, so sympathetic about it. We want to do something for them. Just tell us one of such story which you have experienced in your life and what you learned from it.
Yeah. So give me just a moment. Yeah. So actually, a moment that was sympathetic when someone shared is that, well, it was in my college days, and it was my friend Lokesh, and he's a person actually who always thinks to do. I mean, we always do things in a very common way, but he's something special. He always try to do things in something special way that everyone does, because he tried to learn everything in a very simple way. And he always try to do things in a very simple way, and
Shruthika, I think we have lost Bharat. Like,
Lost Bharat and Shruthika.
yeah, yeah.
Wait for them.
Yes, we'll wait for them.
Am I audible and visible?
Yes, Shruthika.
I'm extremely sorry for the interruption. It's a network issue. Just now I'm realizing that a talk show in online, how it will be. So I feel that Bharat has been shared his experience. Is it completed? Okay. So we are entering into the talk show's second round. It's none other than table topic session. I feel cricket is a perfect analogy for table topics, where the balls and topics thrown are unknown and the batsman and speakers approaches them in an impromptu way. We have a passionate cricket player as a table topics master of the day. The batsman, whether hits a 6 or 4, don't worry. Just hit the ball with full force. Let's welcome TN Johan, also called as Funny Loving Johan, to the stage.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shruthika. I hope I'm audible and visible.
Yeah.
Good evening, TMOD and all the Toastmasters present today. And are you guys ready to see how fast your mind can work? I'm your table topics master, and today my job is literally going to be to put you on the spot. Or as Shruthika mentioned, I will be the bowler who's going to bowl at the batsman today. The prepared speeches have been so delightful so far and full of color, very interesting. But let's now take it up a notch. Just like how your favorite celebrities are put on the spot and ask difficult questions, so will you all be put on the spot. But don't worry, I'm going to ask you simple questions, which I hope you'll like. So, welcome to Coffee with Shru. I understand that the table topics can often induce feelings of panic, pressure, adrenaline, and can sometimes even make you hysterical. But for me, it is the most enjoyable part. The timer will keep you in check with the usual cards. 1 minute means the green card, 1.5 minutes means the yellow card, and 2 minutes means the red card. So if that is out of the way, I would like volunteers to raise their hands so they can go on to the table topic that I give. Please, the first volunteer, please raise your hand. Okay, Toastmaster Darshini, I see you have raised your hand. Okay, so the first topic, that is your table topic, Toastmaster Darshini, is this. Why is your favorite actor or actress worth the hype? Toastmaster Darshini, why is your favorite actor or actress worth the hype?
I'll take 30 seconds. Okay, I'd like to begin. My recent favorite actress is Millie Bobby Brown. And why is she worth the hype is a good question to be put forward. Recently, we all would have enjoyed Millie Bobby Brown's recent movie, Enola Holmes, which is about the sister of Sherlock Holmes. We all know how Sherlock Holmes is a cool person who can pull off anything and everything. But little do we know about Enola Holmes, and Millie Bobby Brown was a perfect character to play Enola Holmes. And why is she worth the hype? Let's talk a little history about her. She came into this field of acting at a very young age, and did we all know that she was the breadwinner for the family for quite some time? And she is not very old these days, and she also owns a cosmetic brand which is being used by pretty much half the world today. So I think that she's not just a talented person, she's also an entrepreneur. She is very young, she's very talented, she takes a lot of risky decisions, and she makes good decisions. So I think that Millie Bobby Brown is my favorite actress as of now, and she is worth the hype. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Darshini. Yes, just before the meeting, I was scrolling through Netflix and I saw Enola Holmes. I was going to watch it. So thank you. Next volunteer, please come forward. All questions will be fun like this. Toastmaster Ashwin, did you raise your hand?
Yes.
Okay, Toastmaster Ashwin. Here is your table topic. Marvel or DC, and why?
I'll take my 30 seconds. Yeah. Okay, I'll begin my speech right now. So Marvel or DC has been a fight or a feud between the fans for ages and ages. And when it comes to me personally, I've always been a huge Marvel fan, but I occasionally tend to enjoy DC movies as well. So even though I don't have a distinct selection between Marvel or DC movies, or even the comics or other franchises, I generally tend to enjoy both of them. But since I was small, I was always a huge fan of Spider-Man, and he was my superhero growing up. Anything I did was related to Spider-Man. Peter Parker was my hero. So I guess deep down, I am a huge Marvel fan. But other than Peter Parker, I also enjoy Batman so much. And the latest Batman movie was so good. It almost made me kind of change from a Marvel fan to a DC fan. So yeah, there is no constant answer. It all depends on the movies and the comics. And I'm a very open-minded to all these. So I don't stick to one. Even though I enjoy Marvel, at times I'll go watch Beast or some Tamil movie and I'll enjoy that as well equally. So yeah, I guess deep down, you can say that I'm a Spider-Man fan rather than a Marvel or a DC fan. Yeah, over to you, to TT Master.
Nice answer, Toastmaster Ashwin. I see you've played it safe to avoid the wrath of either fandom. Okay. A couple more questions still remaining. Any other volunteer? Okay, Toastmaster Kavita. Okay, so Toastmaster Kavita, your topic is the movie that shaped your childhood. The movie that shaped your childhood, Toastmaster Kavita.
I'll take a few seconds. Good evening, Toastmasters again. I don't remember exact movies that I watched during my childhood, but a few years back, I got to watch the movie Spider-Man Homecoming, which I enjoyed the most. And the other Marvel hero, the Black Panther, I loved the movie, the way it went. And the other movie, Lion King, was another movie I enjoyed the most. This all brought in my childhood memories alive. I could not exactly relate what connected me to those, but I really enjoyed watching the movie in theater. I'm not sure whether it was the characters there, or it was the picturization, or it was the story. But it was really nice time, and I could recollect my childhood with these movies. Thank you. Over to you, Johan.
You are on mute, Johan.
Sorry. Thank you, Toastmaster Kavita. I'm sure the movies that you mentioned are all-time classics, and I'm sure everyone enjoys them. Now, one more volunteer I would like. I think this is the most interesting question. So, okay, I can see Vijay sir already raising his hand. Okay, sir. So your topic is, if you won Kaun Banega Crorepati, what would you do? If you won Kaun Banega Crorepati, what would you do, Toastmaster Vijay?
I tried to wake up from my dream. I'll take my 30 seconds. Timer, you may start now. Computer ji, lock kiya jaye. Vijay Surana has given his final answer for rupees 1 crore. And you've given the right answer. Yes, Vijay become a crorepati today. But the very moment after I received the check of 1 crore with all excitement, fun and fair, I remember 30% tax. Oh my God, 30 lakhs is immediately gone from my account. I'm not even a crorepati. I'm just a 60 lakhs pati now. So what would I do with the remaining amount is the question. So by the time I digest that I've already given 30 to 40 lakh rupees in tax, will I come to senses to do about the money with which I've left? Definitely, I'd like to indulge in a lot of luxuries that I've always wanted. But thanks to coming of age and reaching 40, materialist things don't matter to me anymore. So definitely, I'd like to go and invest the amount in some of my favorite companies, tech companies, that will fetch me money much more than I earned in this Kaun Banega Crorepati, and immediately retire for a glorious, glorious retirement ahead without any tensions. That's what I'd do if I win Kaun Banega Crorepati. Thank you for listening to me.
Thank you so much, sir. That is a wonderful answer. But I have a couple of questions. Since you said you would invest the money again and you're not interested in materialistic things, what would you do with the money that you get from investing? I call this the Vijay sir paradox.
I said I'd enjoy my retirement without worrying about money. Of course, I'll have to live, right? There are living
Yes.
expenditures.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
And I like to travel a lot.
Yes.
Thank you, Johan.
Thank you, sir. Those were some really wonderful speeches that we had prepared today. And I think it's going to be very hard to pick the best one. So yes, again, over to the TMOD.
Thank you so much, Table Topics Master. Before that, I should have an important question for the TT Master also. No one can escape from TMOD, right? So Johan, here is the question for you. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. So which is the one match that your favorite or the thing unexpectedly made the match win? At the last minute balls which turned out the match totally. Share your experience.
Okay, so I'll go a little bit deep because I remember so many matches, but I can confidently say that the match that definitely was the most unexpected for me was the World Cup final of 2019. It was an amazing match where you had no idea who was going to win till the last moment. And definitely when you thought New Zealand were going to win, the most unexpected incident happens where the ball hits the batsman's bat accidentally while he's running and goes for a four. And this completely turns the match around and makes it a tie. Still, that is one of the most controversial and one of the most looked down on decisions in cricket. So I remember this match because all of my family was sitting around the TV and watching it. And we were our emotions were literally like a roller coaster, up, down, up, down. But fortunately for me, I remember half the family was New Zealand, half the family was England. And I was on England's side. So I couldn't stop jumping after the result had been declared that England had won. So yes, definitely that was the one match that gave me the most joy and gave me the most adrenaline.
Thank you, Johan. So the talk show without activity is always boring, right? So we are at that time now. Shall we start? So is the screen visible?
Yes.
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 What is the game now is we are going to draft a story randomly. So these are the words. Each one of you should say one sentence that should consist one word. The word should not be repeated again, and we can see what is the story that finally getting drafted. So who would be the first volunteer?
It was
Uh,
okay. Go ahead.
no, I would like to volunteer, but so I should use the first word in a sentence, and the next person has to use the next word. Is it like that?
No, the sequence is not required, but the one word should be used only once.
Okay, so I can make a sentence with having any of these words.
Any of these.
Okay. Can I make the sentence?
Sure, Jahan, go ahead.
I prefer my pizza with extra cheese.
But you can't have it during a Toastmasters meeting, Johan.
You have to wait until the sun sets.
I guess I'll just have some mango.
Wouldn't the girl be laughing at you?
But I'll be in the forest.
And what doing? Watching mirror?
No, the rainbow.
The rat would chase you.
But I'm a lion.
Looking at the rainbow?
Yes, at the beach near the forest.
Next to Rose Garden.
I think we're done with the words.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really funny and great too. And I just expected a story, but it's like a conversation between 2 to 3 members. We have completed successfully 2 rounds of our talk show. And now we are going to enter into the third round, which is evaluation. So let's welcome the general evaluator of the day, TM Kriti. I'm handing over the section to her.
Thank you, TM Shruthika. Let's call upon the first evaluator, Toastmaster Dashni, to give her report.
Thank you, general evaluator. First of all, I would like to begin the evaluation by congratulating Toastmaster Mahalakshmi on successfully completing her Level 1, Project 3 under the Pathway Presentation Mastery. The positioning of the camera was perfect, and I appreciate the fact that you delivered the speech standing. What I liked in your speech is that you started brilliantly with a question. Beginning a speech with a question is a very catchy way to begin a speech, as it helps you to catch the attention, grab the attention of the whole audience, because they also would want to answer the question. And the way you ask the questions about your inner voices was very interesting. So that is one place that I liked. And another thing that I liked about your speech was that the introduction was brilliant. The content was delivered, was actually crafted very carefully and was delivered at such an ease. And the clarity, and you felt very comfortable, and the clarity was great. However, there are a few places that I felt that you could use some recommendations. The first thing was I noticed that there were unnecessary pauses at some places. The thing is that pauses are really good. Actually, in this speech, there was a huge improvement with pauses. But the small thing is that there were a lot of pauses where it wasn't required. So I would like you to work on meaningful pauses. So that is one recommendation. The other recommendation is that your conclusion could have been more powerful. It could have been like connecting the question that you asked. something to wrap it up. We didn't feel the completeness, whereas your introduction and the content was perfect. The conclusion could have been more impactful, maybe putting forward a question to the Toastmaster of the day or something like that. And one more recommendation is that I personally felt that you could have worked towards the purpose of this speech. The speech was beautiful on its own. However, comparing the speech with the purpose, I think that you could have done more research and more content could have been delivered. To summarize, you started off brilliantly. The content was delivered at ease. The conclusion could have been more powerful, and the speech could have been more towards the purpose, focused on towards the purpose. So that would be it from my side. Thank you. Over to the general evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Dashni. Now I call upon the evaluator to Toastmaster Bharat. Over to Toastmaster Bharat.
Yeah. Sorry guys, I got disconnected in the middle because my phone said it is overheating. Well, sorry for the inconvenience. So timer, you can start now. So first of all, kudos to you, Toastmaster Kavita, for successfully completing your pathways objectives. You have told the objectives that has been given to you on your speech. Congrats for that. And firstly, I would like to tell some of the good things that I have seen in your speech. So when you're starting your speech, the opening, yes, we're all thinking that what she is speaking about. And after that, you connected it well in a way that how you're going to deliver it. Yes, the opening was really good and we all liked it. And the second thing is that the way you structure your speech, usually people always connect their topic. Some people connect the topic in the middle and some people in the beginning, but I often see that some of the great speakers will always connect the topic at the conclusion part. Yes, we all just wondered how the leaps and bounds topic can be connected to your speech, and you had made it well that you gave explanation to each and every letter, and that made us more interesting towards your speech. So apart from that, you used some of the very useful hand gestures. Very great hand gestures. Some of them, like when you say it's increasing, you used some of the hand gestures like this. And when you say about the flyer, kill the fire, yes, those hand gestures really made us think that what those things actually, yeah. And Toastmaster Kavita, here I would like to give you some of the suggestions. Well, so when you're transitioning from one event to another event, I felt that the pauses are missing. When you're speaking about an event and you're transitioning yourself from that event to other, so you can do it in either two ways. So either you can move your position from one part to another part of the screen, or you can give some useful pauses to make clear that you are moving from one part of the story to other. So that is the one thing I felt it was missing. And the second thing is that adding energy. When you say that I was glad Prathamesh as my mentor, so you can say that in the most energetic way, like I was very glad that Toastmaster Prathamesh was my mentor. That will really add energy to those words. So for this, I would like to tell some of the people told me that you always like to give your speech like you're giving your last speech. So this is like you're going to die after you deliver the speech. So when you have that in mind, you will have a lot of energy within you and your words will have energy also. So to summarize, you had a very good opening and the structure and the way you concluded the speech with your topic. And there are few suggestions that I would recommend. And overall, it's a very good speech, and thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Bharat. Now I would like to call upon my tag team on finding out the report of the entire show. So now I call upon Kindness, Pratyusha, timer. Pratyusha. Over to you.
Thank you, Kriti. The first speaker of the day, Speaker Toastmaster Mahalakshmi, spoke for 5 minutes 43 seconds. The second speaker, Toastmaster Kavita from LNT, spoke for 6 minutes 50 seconds. And for table topic speeches, Toastmaster Darshini spoke for 1 minute 27 seconds. Toastmaster Ashwin spoke for 1 minute 18 seconds. Sadly, Toastmaster Kavita just spoke for 57 seconds, where Vijay Surana, Toastmaster, spoke for 1 minute 42 seconds. And for evaluation speeches, Toastmaster Darshini spoke for 2 minutes 47 seconds, where Bharat spoke for 3 minutes 9 seconds. Thank you.
Thank you, Pratyusha. Now I call upon the accounter Toastmaster Vijay Surana.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Friends, I'm almost hysterical. This is the quality of meeting we expect. All our speakers have used less than 5 accounts or any filler words. No wonder I enjoyed the show today, participating in our TMOD's interview, followed with the TT session, and also actively participating in the activity. Thanks to all the members who gave no work to me. Over to the General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Vijay. Now I call upon the grammarian Toastmaster Ashwin.
Thank you, General Evaluator. It was a pleasure listening to all the speeches today. I have made note of the usage of outstanding words such as deliberate, which means to do something consciously. Shrilling, which means a shrilling voice, which means having or emitting a sharp, high-pitched sound. A preconception, which means to have a preconceived notion or an idea or an opinion formed before having enough opinion about it. Status quo, which means an existing state of affairs regarding any social issues or political issues. And fabulous, which means extraordinary. I would also like to point out some of the words and sentences that were used incorrectly. Some members replaced the words that were supposed to be used with a different form of the word. For example, instead of the word initiative, the word initiate was used. And similarly, instead of the word hungry, the word hunger was used. These are all small changes that can occur due to the stress and tension that occurs while preparing a speech, which can also be easily overcome. Meanwhile, I'm also happy to see that fellow members are eager to use the word of the day. TM Johan and TM Vijay use the word of the day. So great job to you guys. And I hope everyone can use it more often in your future speeches. Thank you, and over to the General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ashwin. Coming to my report, I would like to take 2 minutes, 2 minutes before I let you know my report. I'm ready to give my report. So the meeting started, the time it started was 4 o'clock 35 minutes, which is like 5 minutes more than the usual timing which we generally start. So I request everyone to join the meeting by 4:20. By 4:20, let's make it as practice to correctly start the meeting on time. So we can, everyone can enjoy the rest of the Sunday which we are having after 6 p.m. And coming to the essay, he started the meeting with a very good energetic tone, stating the mission and the vision statement. And he also did a good job by not revealing the team completely. Now coming to the my tag team, Toastmaster Timer Pratyusha. She this is her first time playing being a role player in our club as a timer, but she had already experienced the role of a timer in the area contest which we had earlier. So it was for her like a practice already done. The timer cards were clearly explained, and in coming to her report, she said the timings of each and every one. One recommendation is that before in her report, she could have said the persons who qualified and who disqualified, to which sorts us, like which eases the person who's writing the ballot forms. To It's for even the future timer role players, as well as another small recommendation is that um actually in every meeting we share the timer cards, but it is actually up to the timer whether she can whether the person can have the timer cards in the background or share the screen. But it is good to mention, if mention the people, like whether the timer cards will be shared or whether the timer cards will be showed in the background. But I understand that after the area contest, like as it was showed in background, here also the practice was followed. But I request even the future timer card role player to show to tell like how the timer cards will be showed, like whether they'll screen share it or screen share it, or they'll show in the background, so it eases out the people who are like giving speeches, let it be in table topic session or for the speakers and evaluators. Coming to the R counter, Toastmaster Vijay, he started out, he gave a wonderful introduction, like he gave an example which was very wonderful way of starting his what is R counter. And while giving his report, I could see that he summarized it very quickly. But yeah, it was well good. But I would recommend him to at least count the accounts, like who all spoke. I guess at least few people would have made the accounts. So it would be nice if we all get to know in future. Like we can correct it in future meetings of ours. Coming to our grammarian Toastmaster Ashwin, where after a long time assigning him the role of grammarian, today he took this role. He did a very good job. He explained the purpose of why grammar is important, and he explained the word of the day and gave the meaning, and he also even shared the word of the day. Coming to the report, yeah, he explained the words which were being used, and also recommended, like said the mistakes done by some, but not mentioning the names. Good job done, Ashwin. And yeah, that's it. Now coming to the evaluator, Toastmaster Dashni. She explained her the level and the pathway of the speaker, the purpose of the speech, and also coming to her report, she congratulated the speaker. And the evaluation method she followed was telling the positive first, and then the recommendations, and she beautifully summarized it. One small recommendation is that in during your when you're when you're being called before the speaker, I would also like you to say that on what basis are you going to evaluate the speaker, like on vocal way, like there are a few terms, no, like vocal variety and all, vocal variety, hand gestures, like so the audience who are new to Toastmaster, they'll also get be aware like how the evaluation really occurs. Otherwise, well, job done. Coming to Toastmaster Bharat, the purpose of the speech was well explained, and here he also explained how he'll be evaluating. Coming to his report, he congratulated the speaker, gave a and also gave he also followed the method of saying first positives and recommendations, and beautifully summarized the speech. Well, job done, Toastmaster Bharat. Coming to the table topic session, Toastmaster Johan, a wonderful session. It was really nice. Like we all enjoyed the topics which you gave, and all were like all were like ready to come up with the topics. And Yeah, and he even gave feedback after each and every one finished their table topic like speech. Well job done, Toastmaster Johan. Now coming to the, let me finish up the table topic speakers also as I came to the Toastmaster. Everyone gave a wonderful speech, and this is the first time I noticed that Toastmaster Dashni took 30 seconds before delivering her table topic speech. Usually she doesn't do it. So it made the topic was so interesting that it made Dashni to think before, and yeah, it was a good job done, Johan, by introducing, giving a tricky topic and like interesting topic also. It was Dashni gave a well structured speech, table topic speech, having introduction, body, as well as conclusion, same as followed by Toastmaster Ashwin, Toastmaster Kavita, and Toastmaster Vijay. It was a very fun-filled table topic session. Lastly, coming to the Toastmaster of the day, Shruthika. A wonderful session. We always, one thing I have noticed that we always, whenever we come up a team, we we already like assign the like some certain roles to the role players, but this time she did it using the Google Forms by ourselves describing what role, how we are like, based on how our character, like it was totally different. Like we itself are assigning roles to us. It was like that. Well job done, Shrutika. Overall, it was like your session was full interesting. It was totally like a coffee show is going on, and all had like it was like tidbit, like when you ask questions, it itself was a table topic questions which you asked. It was impromptu speech, like all were warmed. You made everyone warmed up with the questions by asking the questions before the main table topic session, which was very different. You had this is the first time I'm hearing that the TMOD is having interaction with the audience rather than like the audience also is allowed to speak in the session with along with the TMOD. It was a great job done, Toastmaster of the day, Shrutika, and yeah, you even gave the feedback after each and every after asking questions to them. Overall, the session was like a fun-filled and a chill kind of session. A total coffee, like coffee, having a coffee and attending the meeting. It was like that. I don't have such any other for like recommendations. Only one thing is um yeah, yeah, I guess I already said that we'll make sure that we all come by 4:20, at least 10 minutes before the session, so we can also interact bit before the starting the actual session, because when it comes like correctly at 4:30 we have to start the session and the interaction has been like stopped. So let's interact, let's all join before 4:30, and let's have interactions with each and everyone, not only focusing on the session. Yeah, that's it. That is my report, overall report. Everyone did a wonderful job. Yeah, thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you so much, General Evaluator, for a clear-cut evaluation of the whole meeting. So here the way we are concluding the talk show. Shruti is signing off from here, and meet you in the next meeting. Over to the TM Kruti.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shrutika. I request everyone to fill the Google Forms which I have circulated in the chat. Yeah, I have 10 responses. I guess we are good to go. The best, okay, 11 responses. Yeah, okay. The best speaker goes to Toastmaster Kavita. The best evaluator goes to Toastmaster Darshini. The best role play of today goes to our TMOD Toastmaster Shruthika. The best tag role player goes to Toastmaster Ashwin. And the best table topic speaker goes to Toastmaster Darshini. A wonderful session we had. I would like to ask our guest Shivansh on the regarding how was the session, on your feedback, like how was it?
Yeah, I think the session was very good. Last time I joined a couple of weeks before to the same session, but that time I couldn't actually connect to the dots, like whether it was it an on-the-spot session or was it a prepared session. So because I was completely new to Toastmasters, but today I can connect the dots, like how the things are being driven and how it's being structured. So I think it was really a good session. So I was also able to learn a few things from you guys. So hoping to meet and participate more in these sessions.
We will be glad to have you joining Vellore Toastmasters Club like soon. So
Yeah, thanks.
yes. Coming to our guest speaker, Toastmaster Kavita, I would like to ask your feedback on the entire session.
Yeah. First of all, thanks for the opportunity and slot, the speech slot for me in your meeting. And I'm very happy. It's my pleasure to be a part of today's meeting. I've attended Vellore Toastmasters meeting some time back, and that time also it was very interesting as today's meeting. Each meeting is very unique. Whichever meeting I've attended, both the meetings are very good, and then I feel energetic after attending the meeting because everybody is involved so much and it is filled with so much of fun that we tend to engage completely in the meeting. So it is really nice to meet and then be a part of it. It's my pleasure, and thanks for the invite for today's meeting.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for your so kind words. Hoping you'll join the meetings whenever you're available. And coming to our guest Rohit, regarding the feedback of the.
Yeah, like as usual, it really went well, and my bad, I couldn't connect with the video and the sound and the challenge because I faced a lot of latencies, and yes, and it's looked really well actually. So I didn't expect this. Like the fun show is really fun, and yeah, so all are very energetic. And I feel to join next whenever I get free time. Sunday special, yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, Sunday special. Thank you, guest Rohit. We had a wonderful session. I would a special mentions to all our newbies, Toastmaster Johan, Toastmaster Pratyusha, Toastmaster Shruthika, Toastmaster Ashwin for making the entire session fun. It's because of you guys, the new creativity is coming in our session. Congratulations. We are very happy to have you guys. Seeing the new forms of creativity coming in our session. Now I would like to officially adjourn 104th session of Vellore Toastmasters Club. Thank you.